Welcome to online video tutorials. I'm Naina Manori TK, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Civil Engineering, SVIT, Bangalore. I'm the course coordinator for Advanced Surveying, Module 5, Modern Surveying Instruments. Remote sensing. Remote sensing is the most prominent technique of collecting information from a device. The data collected from a distance is called remotely sensed data. The remote sensing is the science of acquiring information about the Earth's surface without being in physical contact with the surface. Next is why the remote sensing, that is necessity as well as the importance of remote sensing. With the growing population and rising standard of living, pressure on natural resources has been increasing day by day. Therefore, it becomes necessary to manage the available resources effectively and economically. It requires periodic preparation of accurate inventories of natural resources, both renewable and non-renewable. This can be achieved through remote sensing very effectively. Remote sensing is being used to collect information about agriculture, forestry, geography, archaeology, weather and climate, marine environment, hydrology, water resource management and assessment, engineering, etc. Okay, you can observe here this, the systematic data collection can be done. Okay, and also it will cover the information of global coverage. Okay, and also it can be used in multi-purpose information. Okay, it has vast applications in exploration of natural resources, analysis of land use and land cover, and also it gives information about the environment's natural hazard studies such as earthquake, landslide, land subsidence, flood, etc. Next very important thing it is the principle, that is the working principle of remote sensing or the remote sensing process. Okay, you can observe here in the figure, it consists of mainly, that is 7 elements are there in case of remote sensing. Okay, you can observe here the A component, that is what your energy source. Okay, then the B, it will act as a media, that is what atmosphere, and C is what your target, and D is what your sensor. Okay, then it reaches, that is E, that is what processing station, then it reaches F, that is analysis, then it reaches G, that is what application. Okay, these are all the remote sensing process. How it is going to work is, first one is energy source. Okay, the first requirement for remote sensing is to have an energy source which eliminates or provides electromagnetic energy to the target of interest. The passive remote sensing system releases on sun as the strongest source of electromagnetic energy and measures energy that is either reflected and or emitted from the Earth's surface feature. Okay. However, active remote sensing systems use their own source of electromagnetic energy. That is first one, that is energy source. Okay, that is the sunlight. Next is what? From this energy source, the electromagnetic radiation get reflected. It going to pass through the B media, that is what? Radiation and the atmosphere. As the energy travels from its source to the target, that is from B to C, okay, it will come in contact with and interact with the atmosphere and it passes through. Okay, this interaction may take place a second time as the energy travels from the target to the center. Next is what? Interaction, that is C, interaction with the target. Once the energy makes its way to the target through the atmosphere, okay, it interacts with the target depending upon the properties of both target as well as the radiation. When the energy interacts with the target, depending upon the characteristics of the target, the energy is transmitted, observed, scattered, emitted, or reflected from the target to the sensor. Next is what? That is D, that is the sensor. That is what? A recording of energy by the sensor. After the energy gets scattered, okay, or emitted from this target C, okay, it requires a sensor to collect and record the electromagnetic radiation. Okay, sensors is what? That is the electromagnetic instruments which is designed to receive and record retransmitted energy. Okay, these sensors are mounted on satellites, or it may be in aeroplanes or even in balloons. Okay, the sensors are highly sensitive to wavelengths, yielding data on the absolute brightness from the objects as a function of the wavelength. Next is what? From the D it is reached, that is E. Okay, there what it will occur? Transmission, reception and processing will occur. Okay, the energy recorded by the sensor has to be transmitted, often in an electronic form. Okay, that is when it reaches from D to E. In an electric form it reaches what? E, to a receiving and processing station where the data is processed into an image. Okay, the data products, it is classified into two categories. It may be photographic product or digital product. Okay, next what it will happen? From E it reaches F. Okay, that is interpretation and analysis. The processed image is interpreted visually or digitally or electronically to extract information about the target, okay, which was illuminated. Next is what? Finally it reaches F, that is what? Application. The final element of the remote sensing process, okay, is achieved by extracting what? The required information from the imaginary about the target in order to better understand it, or to reveal some new information, or to assist in solving a particular problem. This is what? The process of what? Remote sensing. Okay, what I explained here, same thing, that is A, energy source or illumination. Okay, second one is what? Radiation and the atmosphere. From A it reaches B, then it reaches C, that is interaction with the target. Okay, what I explained it now. Now next it is D, that is recording of energy by the sensor. Next it reaches E, that is the transmission, reception and the processing. Okay, finally it reaches F, that is interpretation and analysis, and finally that is the application. This is what? Overall working principle of remote sensing. Next very important topic, that is what? Remote sensing sensor. Okay, we will be using, there are two types of sensors are there. The first one is what? Passive sensors. Second one is active sensor. Okay, passive sensor, you can observe here, it record energy which get reflected or emitted by a target by the sun. Example for that, it is normal photography or most optical satellite sensor. Active sensors, it illuminates a target with energy and it measures the reflection. Example is radar sensors. Okay, you can observe here. See, this is the passive sensor. Observe here, it get reflected. Okay, and the active sensor, that is the earth surface. Okay, see, in the passive sensor, reflection it will be there. Here the active sensor, see here, reflected sunlight. Okay, See, there are two types of remote sensing are there. First one is passive remote sensing. Second one is active remote sensing. Okay, in case of passive remote sensing, it does not, in case of what a passive remote sensing, it make use of sensors that detect the reflected or emitted electromagnetic radiation from natural sources. Okay, SEER measures either reflected radiation from the sun. Many forms of remote sensing use passive detection. Passive sensors are those which are designed to detect naturally occurring energy. Okay, the most often the source of radioactive energy is the sun. Okay, the sun energy is either reflected or that is as it is for visible wavelengths or observed and then re-emitted as it is for thermal infrared wavelengths. In case of active remote sensing, the second type of remote sensing, it uses own source of electromagnetic energy. In case of passive remote sensing, there will be no external source of energy. Okay, that is the natural source of energy, the sunlight they will be using. In case of active remote sensing, it uses own source of electromagnetic energy, okay, which is directed towards the object and return energy is measured. In active remote sensing, artificially produced electromagnetic waves are used. Okay, it may be the microwaves. Okay, that is the radar. It is a common use technique to transmit electromagnetic wave to remote targets. Okay, this is what different types of what remote sensing. Okay, see here, passive sensors. Okay, collect electromagnetic radiation in the visible and infrared part of the spectrum. Example, that is aerial photograph, that is low resolution. Okay, Landsat, Spot, IRS, okay, high resolution and all. Active sensors, airborne radar, okay, LiDAR, these are all the things. Okay, examples. Next very important topic, that is electromagnetic radiation. Next is electromagnetic radiation. Electromagnetic radiation is the electromagnetic energy emitted or reflected from ground features. Okay, next is what? Electromagnetic radiations. Okay, electromagnetic radiation is what? Electromagnetic energy emitted or reflected from ground features and transmitted to the sensing instrument in the form of waves. You can observe here. Okay, in this figure. The remote sensing of land surface features is based on detection of electromagnetic radiation. Okay, the Earth's surface receives only a fraction of total incident solar radiation. Most of the radiation is either absorbed or scattered or reflected back into the space by the upper atmosphere of the Earth. Okay, the short wave radiation consisting of what? X-rays, example, that is the gamma rays and UV rays and other radiation which is harmful to humans and other living organisms is absorbed by our ozone layer in the atmosphere. Okay, the visible light as we see, it constitutes only a small portion of electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, you can observe in this the two characteristics of electromagnetic radiation are particularly important for understanding what? This remote sensing. Okay, these are, first one is what? Wavelength, and this is the frequency. Okay, wavelength is what? You can observe, it is denoted by lambda. Okay, you can observe here, this is what? Sinusoidal curve. Okay, lambda is here. You can observe in this figure. Wavelength is what? Length of the one wave cycle, which can be measured as the distance between successive wave crust. Okay, wavelength is measured in terms of meter. Similarly, the frequency, it refers to the number of cycles of a wave. This is one cycle. See here, one cycle it is. Okay, this is one cycle. This is another cycle. This is another cycle. Okay, it refers to number of cycles of a wave passing over a fixed point per unit of time. Okay, usually the frequency is measured in terms of old cities. Okay, and one thing you need to keep it in mind, the wavelength and frequency are inversely proportional to each other. Okay, are inversely related to each other. The shorter the wavelength, the higher will be the frequency. Okay, that is what electromagnetic radiation. Okay, that is very important thing. If you, that is what, in order to understand the concept of remote sensing, okay, the two characteristics of what this electromagnetic radiations, it's very important. That is what wavelength as well as the frequency. Next is what electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic spectrum is expressed as wavelength of energy ranging from very short to very long. See here, this is the visible region, this is infrared, microwave, and this is radio waves. Okay, ultraviolet, X-ray, and the gamma rays. So you can observe here the wavelength as well as the frequency, intensity of that. Okay, the visible light is what, this portion, that is the visible light, is the very narrow portion of the electromagnetic spectrum, meaning that human eye see only a small part of the spectrum, whereas remote sensing equipment can obtain the information from much greater portion of the spectrum. Whereas remote sensing equipment can obtain information from much greater portion of the spectrum. Okay, the range of the electromagnetic spectrum or the waves are classified as, see this one, X-ray, gamma ray, ultraviolet, infrared, microwaves, and the radio waves. Okay, the Earth atmosphere observes energy in the gamma ray, X-ray, and most of the ultraviolet region. Therefore, these regions are not used for remote sensing. Okay, that remote sensing deals with energy in visible, infrared, thermal, and microwave region at this portion. Okay, the remote sensing deals with the energy between what, visible, infrared, thermal, and the microwave region. Okay, these regions are further subdivided into bands such as blue, green, you can observe here, blue, green, red, infrared, thermal, and microwave. Next is electromagnetic radiation interaction with the target. Okay, all electromagnetic radiation has to pass through the atmosphere, right, in order to reach the Earth's surface and to the sensor after reflection and emission from Earth's surface feature. The water vapor, oxygen, ozone, and the carbon dioxide aerosols present in the atmosphere get influence electromagnetic radiation through the mechanism of scattering and absorption. Okay, when the electromagnetic radiation strikes with the matter, there is interaction between the two. This interaction may change various characteristics of the incident radiation, such as intensity, direction, wavelength, polarization, and the phase. The remote sensing systems are designed to detect and record these changes, characteristics of the matter which produce those changes. Okay, the interaction of this electromagnetic radiation with matter usually consisting of what? Absorption, transmission, reflection. In case of absorption, radiation is absorbed into the target. Transmission, radiation passes through a target. Reflection, radiation bounces off the target and it is redirected. Okay, the proportion of each interaction will depend upon the wavelength of the energy and the material condition of the feature. So you can observe in this figure. Okay, this is the incident energy. it transmitted through the, it get absorption, atmospheric absorptions. Okay, later on it get transmitted, reflected back, bounced back. Okay, next it get emission process, thermal emission, reflected radiation. This is what remote sensing instrument. You can observe in this figure. Okay, reflection process, emission process. This is what the clouds, there will be atmospheric observation, then the radiations get transmitted, then it gets scattered, okay, and it get reflected to the remote sensing instrument. Next is what? The applications of remote sensing. The last part. Various applications of remote sensing. First one is land use and land cover. Okay. Remote sensing offered a practical means for accurate and continuous monitoring of the Earth's natural and other resources. Okay. The data obtained from the remote sensor have provide information which is necessary for making the decisions and in formulating the policy regarding the land use as well as the resource development. Okay, some specific applications of remote sensing we will discuss now. First one is geologic and soil, agriculture, the forestry, water and snow resources, urban and regional planning. Okay, in case of wildlife ecology and archaeological application, environmental assessment, natural disaster, and ocean as well as the weather monitoring. Okay, that is what geologic and soil application. Okay, geologists use remote sensing to study the what formation of sedimentary rocks and to identify the deposits of various minerals and to detect the oil fields and identify water resources under the surface of the earth. That is what geologic as well as the soil. Next, also remote sensing is used to identify potential that is what fishing zone. Okay, coral reef mapping and find other wealth from ocean. Okay, and also it is employed in locating construction materials and also in defining the regional physiographic setting and delineating the various landform present. Okay, next is what? Remote sensing plays a vital role in environmental assessment. Environmental satellites have been launched especially for this purpose. The Indian INSAT series of satellites are currently being used for weather forecasting. Main application remote sensing, that is environmental assessment. Okay, it can be used to study the cloud motion and to predict rain. Okay, water discharge by various industries can be studied for their dispersion and harmful effect, if any, on the living animals. Oil spillage as well as oil slicks in the ocean can be studied for their dispersion and for their possible harmful effect. Soil erosion and sediment transportation are studied by remote sensing. Okay, then is what? Environmental impact assessment becoming increasing important in most countries of the world. With the capability of remote sensing technique, cost-effective mapping of vegetation and other land covers and the possibilities for digital analysis of the resulting maps, it can be of greater assistance in environmental impact assessment. Okay, next is what? Land use and land cover analysis. That is the first one, that is the land cover and land use. With the rapid growing population of the world, what happens? The land use and land cover pattern are also changing. Due to that, what it is happening, the agricultural land is being used for urban purpose as well as the forests are being stripped to provide land for cultivation. So also many of these changes are harmful to human interest and may in the long run prove to be disasters. To prevent this damage to the environment, it is necessary to plan and regulate these changes. Okay, the planning in turn requires that is extensive data regarding the existing patterns, and this is precisely where the remote sensing comes in. Okay, the changes taking place in the areas of forestry, agriculture, residential and industrial can be assessed regularly as well as monitored. It is possible even to find out the areas of different crops also. Okay, and the main reason for the widespread of the concept of using that is remote sensing technique in the fields are images of large areas can be acquired rapidly, the problems of access that generally hampers the ground survey is eliminated. Okay, next is what archaeological application. Another field that is has found a widespread use for remote sensing technique is archaeology. Okay, in order to study the patterns of prehistoric land use may be recognized in remote sensing images. Okay, many roads and towns of old era are now covered by agricultural field, but due to change in moisture content as well as other characteristics of the underlying old objects and the upper new layer, remote sensors are able to recognize this buried archaeologically important sites. Next is what natural disaster or the hazard study. That is earthquakes, landslides and volcanic eruptions and floods are the natural hazards that cause colossal losses both material as well as the human. So the natural hazards can be predicted to some extent and hazards can be minimized. Okay, by analyzing this that is geological formation of the area, thereby identify the risk prone areas. Okay, how that is remote sensing can by no means prevent any of this hazard, but it can be definitely minimize the damage in the following ways. Okay, first one is by providing that is specific warning of certain natural hazards, that is volcanic eruptions in Hawaii have been successfully predicted on the basis of the ground movements which is revealed by remote sensing technique and assess the damage caused and thereby help in the rescue and aid operations. Okay, and also it can monitor the watershed development major river valley projects, and also it can give the information regarding soil erosion status required for soil conservation planning, remotely sense data of potential utility for mapping and accessing soil erosion condition. The study of soil, land cover and drainage characteristics reveals the information about the erosion. Next is what advantages of remote sensing and the disadvantages. The major advantage of remotely sensing data, okay, that is what ability to view large parts of the globe at different scale, okay, and capability to monitor regions which may be very remote or where access is denied. Okay, you can monitor that particular area which is remotely areas. Okay, then ability to analyze different surfaces at wavelengths not detected to the human visual system. Okay, using that you can analyze that. Okay, then ability to obtain imaginary of an area at regular interval over many years in order that changes in the landscape can be evaluated. Okay, next is what capability to see human induced effects on our planet. And also the satellite images are permanent records which provides useful information in various wavebands. Okay, large area coverage enables regional surveys on a variety of themes and identification of large feature. and a single remotely sensed image can be analyzed and interpreted for different purposes as well as the application. Next, the disadvantages is what? Certain skill level is required to interpret that imaginary. Okay, interpretation based solely on remote sense data should be treated with caution unless supported by what? Ground verification data. Okay, the comparison should be there. You should know. You should do that. Okay, the caution should be taken. This is what application once again. Thank you.